Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching us, Annie and Zamil, on this Monday afternoon, the first Monday of 2014. And I think all of you are gearing up. Maybe at this time around, you would like to possibly invest in a property. Well, we're going to find out from the experts to find out if this is a very good time. But like they say, like, anytime is a good time, right?
All right. Excuse me. Let's welcome our guest in the studios. We've got on our extreme left Ms. Prudence Wong, property entrepreneur, and of course next to Prudence is Ms. Karol Ngu, property division manager. Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
All right, so let's jump right in. First question, everyone's thinking,
Yeah.
is it a good time to buy? I mean, I know any time is a good time, but is this year?
Yeah. When exactly is a good time? Before Raya, after Puasa, you know?
Towards
That's actually
Christmas?
the same time. After Chinese New Year?
Prudence?
Oh, well, I mean, in my opinion, like what you say, there is no such time that's a good time or bad time to buy properties or invest properties. It very much depends on your skill and also your knowledge and educations that you have. In the markets, there are a lot of types of so-called investor. They are novice investor, or they just started to invest, or what I call, the one that we look into those, I would say, the professional, the expert, we call it the property entrepreneur.
Okay.
And this group of people, no matter the time, you so-called good or bad, they will buy properties. They will buy properties even every month.
Wow.
Yeah, there are people like that. So, this is why I agree with you. There's no such time, it's a good time or bad time to buy properties.
Anytime is a good time.
Anytime is a good time.
Okay.
Sounds like food.
Well, Karol, with the the budget that's been tabled out, what is your opinion on how it will affect the property market here?
Okay, the budget 2014, okay, on the 1st of January 2014, okay, government already implemented.
Yes.
A few measurements like RPGTs, 2013 is 15 for 2 years. Now it's 30 for 2 years. Okay, so it's already increased. And the remove of the DIBS for the developers. So
in a way, it's good, right? Is it good news?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on how you look at it. For
Sounds like a chicken and egg
developers,
situation.
yes, kind of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Developer cannot leverage on getting the loan from financial institution anymore. And investor, you can't get the DIBS scheme sponsor. Okay, so-called sponsor package into the property pricing.
Right.
So it actually upset a lot of people, especially those who buy and flip properties. Yeah, you can see a lot of impacts with them. And the last one will be on the increase for foreign purchase for 500,000 to 1 million. So it's actually a game change from this year onwards. So it's being a contractions. Okay, you can see when everyone is on the wait and see moments. So for investor, if you really have the experience, okay, so you can actually go into the markets, okay, grab a good deals, then, but that very depends on the importance of, do you have the knowledge, do you have the skills, okay, and do you know the market movements, you understand your challenges, get rid of it, okay, and also you understand your investment in terms of returns and also the sustainabilities.
Well, earlier on when we were introducing the whole show and the topic, Zamil was mentioning that for some people they would probably concentrate on buying property for investment purposes, and that's something that people would do. A lot of people are doing at the moment. They're buying it just for investment purposes, especially in areas that are well concentrated in
City
town
centers.
areas, city centers. If that is the way that some of our viewers want to go, what is your advice to them? What should they look out for when they look at property? And then we were looking at high rise, mostly high rise.
Yeah, there are two ways to think about it. It's either you buy the property as investment to rent out, or to stay.
For on stay. Okay, so there's a difference when ours is more to investor. Okay, so from the investor point of view, we are looking for investment. Okay, the lifestyle has changed already, as earlier mentioned, and people are moving into the terrace house and moving into the condos, and from a very big properties. Okay, they already moved into Soho. We have Soho, we have Soho, a very small unit.
What is Soho?
a lot they have mentioned.
Okay.
So the lifestyle already changed. So youngster, they from 10 kids reduced to 5 kids, right now 1 to 2 kids already.
Yeah.
So that will take into considerations when it comes to property investment. So for investor right now, they won't buy for big properties, big units. They will go for a smaller units. 5 to 1,000 is the ideal size.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we continue with the questions, just to throw the phone number out there, 2282-857-88579. Malaysia, give us a call if you have a question that you want to talk about in terms of, you know, your future investment. If there's something that you want to invest in, you're looking at this beautiful property, you want to know whether it's the right time for you to invest. Maybe you want to talk to our experts in the studio right now.
Well, I'm probably going to ask a question that's always lingering in everyone's minds. Why is the property price? Why are the property prices always so high?
On the rise.
Always. I mean, if it's increasing, yes, it's probably justifiable. But why is it so difficult for? It's always out of reach for just normal people on the street to buy.
You mean why is the prices keep on increasing?
That's right. Yeah.
Well,
is it justified?
Well, there's no such thing called justification. It's very much, I would say, that is the market forces.
Right.
It's supply and demands, I would say. And of course, nowadays, because we are talking about the international scenes, everything is actually come into influence about, currency.
Right.
Like, a developer, when they actually want to build a project, they got to take into considerations of their resources, the materials, and everything is actually going up and up and up.
Well, Prudence, you mentioned something very interesting, international market coming in, which is something that's happening to a lot of areas at the moment. The very prime locations or very decent locations for anybody out there to afford, they can't seem to afford because foreigners are coming in investing in our properties. Even though the price has been increased, entry price has been increased for foreigners, but there are still foreigners, especially our neighborhood down south, who'd love to come and invest in these properties. And unfortunately, the locals, the layman out there is bearing the brunt of it because of the fact that they pay a whole load of sum, thus laymen can't afford that when the prices go up. What is your advice to people out there when this happens? I mean, I think, there are too many investments from foreigners, but in your opinion, what can be done to help just, normal people out there?
Well, I'm sure that, with the budget 2014, Prima already come up, 1 billion of budgets, to come up with affordable homes, especially, for those I would say fresh grad, they can't even afford to buy a house.
True, very true.
And of course, if you can see the trend like what Karol mentioned, that we are going to a trend that have never been. If you look at countries like US, countries like Australia, even London, places, even Singapore. Nowadays, because affordability, people tend to rent rather than buy.
Yes.
You can say that in few more years there will be a renting market.
Yeah, a renting market.
People, as you mentioned, that the price is going up and up.
Yeah.
People would tend not, especially in the introduction of GST, people tend to hold the properties. And what they can do in their hold the property, besides they're renting out to people.
Yeah.
That is why you can see the shift of the change. I would say that we will have to look at the trend. If you study the international scenes, you look at US, you look at Australia, and even other countries. People rent.
Well, what advice would you give to fresh grads, or even like us, fresh grads after 10 years, still haven't owned a property, but we want to invest in property that we probably want to rent, but have the option of
investment,
staying. Should you probably start off your first property to buy within the city center where you can actually rent out and get, passive income or something like that, right? At the same time, would you consider buying a property for you to stay, which is outside of, let's just say, the Klang Valley area?
And is that even, conducive?
Well, I think, when I first graduated, I rented a small room.
Okay.
I still remember it's just a small storeroom.
Right.
Okay, I'm sure everyone go through that process,
Humble
right?
beginnings.
Yes, we've all been there.
Yes, but we work hard on the way to get our first, first, what they call the first sum of for deposits. Everyone will actually work towards that directions.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. I always advise for those fresh grad, just rent first. Okay, look at yourself, and do a financial planning. Okay, come up with your objective or even your finance, objective. See what you want to achieve. Okay, then you work towards that directions. Then you get, to buy your first house. Okay, I would advise people, you know, especially it's a fresh grad, not to buy into the city center for the moment. You know, you can buy in the suburban area, or maybe, you know, from the secondary market, which I would say the sub sales, that you can buy, you know, those matured markets.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you can actually start it on first. Then later, when you go, you know, towards a better lifestyle, then you can actually afford to buy, you know, some better house. I would say a unit.
There are some. There was an article in the papers recently about people buying abandoned homes and homes that are being auctioned off. Is this is this something that's you know, advisable if you want to get into purchasing a space?
Yeah. Are there risks?
Yeah.
Well, there's always risk in our life, I'm sure.
Yeah,
okay.
true.
Yes.
So buying option properties is another different kind of ballgame. I would say, you know, you need to do a lot of research. You know, you got to do a lot of studies.
Yeah.
You know, before you even want to put your money down for the auctions, you need to check a lot of things. You know, whether the units, you know, they have a lot of outstanding in terms of bills that you need to pay. You need to add all this up. You know, then you would check the price.
Right.
Okay, versus the money that you're going to spend during the auction. Then you're going to weigh it whether this is the good deal. I always say that, you know, in order to be successful in investment, we always look for good deal.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So, well, the reason why you're here is also because there's the upcoming Property
conference,
Outlook Conference, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Property Outlook Conference, which is coming really soon.
Yeah,
Just in a
next
few days' time?
Saturday. Next
Right.
Saturday.
So tell us more about that. When and where?
Okay, the next Saturday sections is actually a 2 days full day conference.
Okay.
Okay, that we have gathered up to 13 of the top tier, all the market experts. There will be sharings. So one of the questions that you have mentioned about the graduates, how they can get properties. Okay, we have one speaker all the way from UK.
Wow.
Okay, so he's going to share one strategy which is very interesting.
Oh.
Have you heard about rent to buy? So you can rent the unit first.
Oh, and then buy it later.
Then you can buy it
Which is
later
pretty
from the
common
owner.
overseas. I
Yes,
guess.
but
yes,
it's not
yes.
so common here.
In Malaysia.
Right.
Yeah, so this topics is very suitable if those young investor, they want to learn or want to buy the properties. Okay, this is a skills that you can learn during the conventions.
Is that is never applied here in Malaysia, isn't it? Rent and buy.
Rent to buy.
There
to
is
buy.
very few people know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it sort of offsets from what you're paying in terms of your rent.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
You know, if we can ever get that going here, I think it's very conducive. What
Exactly.
do you think?
It's like leasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's options.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's right.
options. Yeah.
So, what else can you get from the conference itself? You know, do you look into how you can manage your properties? If you already own a property, you can still go to the conference and learn some things,
Yeah,
right?
Prudence will be one of our speakers to share on helping people, okay, to become a wise property investor,
Right.
to manage your property well. So especially you're dealing with tenants.
Because we always say that the tenants actually will help you to pay your installment,
Yes.
and that is how you make the money, you know, from there. So the two main, I would say, factors in terms of tenant and property management is to get the right tenants.
Right.
If you don't get the right tenants, there will be a nightmare
Your
for you.
property is gone
Yes.
and you are in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yes,
Okay.
that's
There's
what
going to be
that
one
is
whole
skill.
hour altogether.
Yeah.
Talk about
That's
tenants.
true.
Yeah, but getting tenants again, it all depends on what area your property is. I mean,
That's
if you're
right.
near a university, if you're near a housing area, you exactly know what kind of tenants you're going to be getting.
Yes,
and whether
correct.
you want to even give your house to these tenants.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably throw a 10-page long, rule and regulation.
Well, I mean, this is precisely what we are going to do, because you don't want to get someone to stay there for 2 years, you know.
Right.
You want
Just
someone
having the
long-term.
2 years that you can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to get someone that really can pay for you, can maximize your cash flow, and at the same time to help you to increase your capital appreciation for your properties. Because people, they would rather pay more. If you get a good tenant, they can help them to generate a lot of cash flow.
True.
Yes.
And to sustain the property itself, to look after your property, I think that's very important.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
Fantastic.
Who are the other speakers of this?
Okay, we have Milan Doshi and Renisa Leong will share on the tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Okay, because they have been in the market for 20 over years.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
been to many cycles. So they will share with all the audience. Okay, what is the next strategies to apply
Right.
Okay, since our budget 204 already implemented.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once again, before we say goodbye to you, just to the viewers out there, date, day, and where exactly
when
is this
and where and where can we get more information?
Okay, the event will be held at Istana Hotel, okay, on the 11th and 12th. It's a 2 full days conference, and in conjunction with that, we also have a property showcase during our conference outside the main foyer. So we have about a few developers will be exhibit their products. If you are interested to find out further,
tickets still available?
VIP ticket already sold out, which is very, very good news.
Okay.
So if for generals, ticket is still available if you have interested to purchase.
All right.
Okay,
And
so you
tickets
can go out to www.wma.my/POC, okay, for further informations about it.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for joining us, and all the best for the conference itself.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, I think maybe we should talk about this rent-to-buy system. It's absolutely fantastic system.
We probably have to make a weekend free to attend this after
I
this.
know we do.
Yes.
All right.
Save
So
us 2
there you
seats,
go. Yes, please do save us 2 seats. We're definitely going to be there, and I think you might want to be there for all of you who watched us today. In terms of this topic itself, purchasing of a property for you and for all of us. It's a very big commitment. It's a commitment in itself. So to make sure that you get the right property at the right time with the right pricing is a task on its own. So
we have a couple of hot happenings as well as the next topic, talking about Re-Ed project. But we'll be right back right after this break, so don't go away.